Hello everybody, it is Tuesday evening. I took Monday off because man was I bushed. The shop is finished. Okay. Let me show you around a little bit. The maker cart has been cleaned from top to bottom, and look at all these kits I found on the different shelves that I had started but never finished. So somebody, me, needs to get out in the shop and do some turning. So hopefully I'll be doing some serious turning here real soon. I don't know how many of these I'll show you guys. Depends on how interesting they are, but I just don't want to get super boring with, with the same video over and over. But, we'll just kind of see how it goes. And I was worried I was out of pin kits and needed to order some, but these are the pin kits that I got from my buddy whenever I bought that big lot of stuff from him. And I forget how many I said was in there, 50 or 60. This is another box full of pin kits that need to be put together. Some of them I've already been started. They just need to be finished. These are kits that I made in the past and don't like. Some I've taken apart and robbed parts from. There's tons of parts here, so they need to be taken apart, and I can use the parts to make my own pins. But these are all kits. This is a kit that was given to me by Dennis Delwer quite a while back. I've never done anything with that, so that's pretty exciting. If we look over here, I still have my router. I need to take a look at the trigger. I've got my my tent that I want to put on my windows, maybe this weekend. And then if we jump over here, the stuff on top of here, we need to talk, guys. This is all stuff that I want to give away. I want to do giveaways. We need to figure out how to do it to where those of you who are my followers, the people that watch my videos, I want you guys getting this stuff. I don't want a bunch of drive-bys and all that stuff going to the drive-bys. I'm not sure what to do with that box. I'm going to have to get busy and finish that cooler box because then that goes away. So I don't know, maybe this weekend I might look at the cooler box as well. I got to remember to buy the cooler first. But let's just take a quick look around. Everything is clean. Of course, I've got the box open because I was digging tools out of it. I'll show you this stuff here in a second. But everything in the shop is cleaned off. And look how much room I have to move around my shop. This is awesome. I love it. These are some things I found when I was digging. There's an old top that I made. There's a tiny finial I was working on. These were some inside-out turnings. I think I did a video on those. This was a junky turning here, but if you take a look at the finial, man, that's pretty nice. I went ahead and finished it. These were some chess pieces I did a long time ago. I think I did a video on those. A couple of kings. We got a queen. This is one. There's two of these. I was working on a Harry Potter blank. And maybe I shouldn't say Harry Potter. I don't need to get don't need to get in trouble there with the folks at Warner Brothers. But what's that? The Elder Wand, the Infinity Stone, and the Invisibility Cloak. Maybe. Shucks, I'm sorry, my Harry Potter's bad. But I was working on those. Just some different things I was working on. I found. I may resurrect some of those. Obviously, I'm not going to turn those Harry Potter blanks. They're just, I mean, they're close, but no cigar. But, we'll see what happens with that stuff. Oh, yeah, this is cool. A buddy of mine called and said, hey, I went over, the gentleman that I bought all the stuff from, he went to his house and the gentleman told him, hey, give this to Bob. It's a 4-inch dust collection shield for your lathe. And I'm going to mount it on my lathe and start using it with my new dust collector. And then my buddy had purchased this. He purchased two of them and he only needed one. It's, of course, a 4-inch to 2-inch reducer. So he gave that to me. So as we start setting up the dust collection, we'll be able to incorporate that. I'm excited about that. But yeah, I mean, pretty much everything in the shop is ready to go. Oh, see that right there? That nice big board? I bought that as the backer for this. So we're going to take all this stuff off the shelf. I'm going to put a backer up there to where I can hang things like my jaws. These are going to have to go somewhere else. I'm thinking maybe just a small shelf over here. And then, of course, we'll put the taps and the pink box and all those just on one shelf. Just stack them up over here. I may build something where maybe I can slide them in and out, kind of like the maker cart, except wide enough to accept these little boxes. I don't know yet. I haven't really thought it out. Next step is to get that background there or that backdrop there so I can start putting stuff out that way. It's right at hand's reach. I don't want to dig through a box. I want everything out in the open so that I can grab it and use it. So that's pretty much it for the cleaning videos. I am done. Like I said, next up, we gotta get to turning some stuff. I think what I may do is some of the stuff, there's some easier kits up here and some easier blanks. I may start, I'm pointing to my maker card. I'm sorry, I got the camera flipped around. I may start turning a few of those just to get the touch back. And then I got some more difficult blanks, and I probably will not film the easy ones. Maybe I'll film a few of the more difficult ones, just you know, to show you guys what's going on. I'm excited about finding so many kits because I was at the point where I was getting ready to order some, and not only do I have all the kits in those boxes, but every one of these pin blanks on this table has a kit associated with it. So there's probably 25 or 30 on the table. So I have a lot of kits that just got shuffled around. But I am so happy with my shop. I think what I'm going to work on now is I'm going to work on getting that dust collector mounted to my lathe. And, you know, just this is going to be great. I'm excited about having that and being able to use my real dust collector with my lathe. So I think that's where I'm going to go next. I'll keep you guys posted if anything else happens. I have the dust collector mounted. I went ahead and used the mount from my old Rockler dust collector because I needed some way to attach it to the ways, and that just wasn't included. This has this nice little flip down lid, and when it's down, as you're turning, you're below this turning, the pieces are hitting this, and my hope is when they hit, it stops the momentum of them coming towards you, lets them drop, and pulls them back into the dust port, which is going to be a 4-inch dust port off of a Cyclone dust collector. Now, that's pretty awesome. I'm really happy about that. The issue I have is take a look at the headstock spindle and take a look at the tailstock. Okay, the issue is this is too low. I'm going to have to raise it up. So I'm going to have to build something, a block of wood or something, to take this up above this to where I can slide in far enough. Okay, I can come in actually even farther than that if I want. I can come in this far, which is way past where I would need to be. I'm probably more likely going to be about here most of the time, but I've got to raise that up to where my mandrel or my turn between center bushings or even my tailstock can go inside of this and be locked down so that I can work inside of this little area. So I need to do a little thinking about that and probably come up with some longer bolts. I may have some in one of my drawers over there. I haven't even looked yet. I just finished mounting it and took a look at it and said, hey, no, that's not going to work because, I mean, take a look at that. And you could always push it back a little bit, but that's all the farther I can push it back because I'm limited by my little slide here. However, I think with a little ingenuity, this is going to come in real handy and be a very useful tool for me while I'm out here turning. I put a riser block on the back of this collector, and now you can see I can bring my tailstock in. It could really stand to be just a little bit higher. I could always put like another 1/4-inch block on there or whatever. But if I were using turn between centers, I could put a dead center in there, and I could bring that up, and I could turn, and I can always kind of lift that up enough to get, let's move that forward, get it under the tailstock. There we go. That's as far as I can take my tailstock because I have to kind of cock the banjo sideways. So we're going to have to really kind of think about this a little bit. I may have to come up with something else, like actually having it mounted to the table and just sort of pushing the lathe into it, as opposed to having it mounted on the back of the lathe. So I'm going to put some thought into that tonight, and I've got time because my reducer hasn't come in, so I can't really use it yet. But I think that may be the better idea, is mounting it to the table at a height and then being able to slide it in and out and just putting the lathe in front of it. The only issue with this is it is going to hinder my ability to show, because normally I'm above. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it's going to make it difficult. See how it kind of takes away from the quality. It's going to make it difficult to show turnings, but maybe as I turn for you guys, I'll just flip it up and not use it, or even I could even just leave the old one on here and bring it forward. So I've got options. Like I said, I've got options. Let me put a little thought into this and see what we can come up with. Well, I'm at it again. I just came up with an idea. I've got this little pink container here, and then these 4 containers here, which are all right at 14 inches wide. They're a little over about 9 inches deep, and about 2 1/4 inches, a little over 2 inches tall. And I'm going to build a little rack. It's going to be an open rack. I'll build it out of just some 2x4 scraps with some runners on it, so that I'll make it about 8 inches deep so that I can slide these in, and I'm going to mount it on the sidewall to get them off of the shelf, because with those on the shelf, I've covered up the entire back area where I want to put the backer board to hang things on. So we'll put that over here to the right, and we'll just hang those up. And that way, you know, I know what's in them. I mean, you can look at the front and tell, like, you can see that this one is bushings and this one's drill bits and this one is taps and dies. So that'll be simple, and I'll just slide them in over there. I'll make it tall enough to take the 4 of them, and then on top, I'll just stack these 4 little ones, these tiny ones on top of it, and I don't need to make a rack for those. They can sit right on the top, and that's going to free up a ton of space. So I've drawn it up. I've got my plans here. I just need to refine my dimensions, and then, oh, sorry about that. After I refine the dimensions, I will cut my pieces, build it, get that made first, then we'll put the backer board up, and we'll be able to, oh, this light is terrible over here, and we'll be able to better store and utilize all of those little containers. I'm really excited about how this is turning out, because it's going to be huge to have all this stuff out where I need it, when I need it, turn around, grab, use, and I can put it right back. So that's about it for me tonight, guys. It's still early, but man, I'm really tired. The weekend cleaning wore me out. I wanted to come out today. I took yesterday off. I just wanted to get out today, finish up. I'm super excited. My daughter walked into the shop a little bit ago to ask me a question, and she walks in and she stops and goes, "Whoa, you cleaned up." So I'm pretty excited. That's the kind of reaction I wanted. Now I just gotta keep refining these ideas for organization, and I just gotta keep myself organized. And the shop should always look like this. Will it? Probably not, but that's what I'm going for. So you guys have a great evening. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you again very, very soon.